was sitting oldest president declared that he was going to be running for an eighth term in office. President Paul Biya declared his candidacy yesterday to the frustration of so many Cameroonians who were expecting him to stand down because, according to them, so many reasons. Because of so many reasons, President Paul Biya is no more capable of running the country, notably health reasons, and the fact that there's been conflict in the Anglophone regions, the Boko Haram conflict that the president has not been able to manage for over 43 years now and counting. There are so many problems now plaguing the country at the moment. We apologize for that. But many Cameroonians would have hoped that it will be that opportune moment for President Paul Biya to actually step down and resign after working and ruling the country for 43 years. So there've been a lot of reactions. We've seen people from the civil society, politicians, and even lawyers not happy about that. Even people within his own party have been very, very unsatisfied with the announcement of yesterday. But today we saw a group of Cameroonians, not up to 20 of them, um, um, supporting or saying that they are in support of President Paul Biya's candidacy. And many would wonder, is this real? Because seeing that the Secretary General, the Presidency of the Republic was present at that event, is it President Paul Biya or is it the Secretary General at the Presidency of the Republic who is being described as the de facto ruler of Cameroon at the moment? Ferdinand Gongo was present when about 20 Cameroonians, they do not even represent a fraction of the young, the old, and even the children who have been clamoring for change for so many years now. But it's not just about Cameroon, it's about what is the perception of people out of the country with regards to the state of affairs in Cameroon at the moment. What do some people in some parts of Africa think about President Paul Biya's candidacy? That's why tonight we have Mr. David Matsanga. He is a Pan-Africanist and a political analyst. He's been vocal a lot about African politics and dictators, leaders who've been in power for so many years, including President Paul Biya, that he has personally taken to the International Criminal Court for crimes against humanity, particularly with regards to the conflict in the Anglophone regions. Dr. David Masanga, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much, my sister. Thank you for inviting me to this show once again. I am happy to be part and a parcel of you on discussion on the question of Cameroon.
A pleasure as well. And I should note that you're a Pan-Africanist, but you also come from East Africa, where we've seen a lot happening in terms of young people rising to say no to what they feel like they have described as bad leadership, bad governance. We've seen a lot happening. But before we come to that, I just wanted to find out from you. President Paul Biya has ruled for over 4 decades. 43 years to be precise. In your view, is there any justification, whether political, economic, or social, or even, let's say, strategic, to seek another term in office at the moment?
First of all, I have been one of the few people who has taken Paul Biya to court. I've stood and worked very hard to make sure that Cameroon, and especially the people of Southern Cameroon, can have peace. I've taken a stand that never should I and never will I ever see the people suffer every day. So I am one of those opponents of Paul Biya, and let him see me today. I've gone to all lengths. I've filed applications, refoulement of people from Abuja, the 10 naira who are suffering for life in prison. I blocked his going to medical treatment in Switzerland. I blocked, and I want to invite Mr. Paul Biya to come through London. I am waiting. In fact, as I speak tomorrow, I'm leaving for London to file an application so that Buhari's estate is not divided, because I have a case where they have to pay where Nigerian government and the Cameroonian government have to pay. I'm seizing the embassy. I'm seizing their 2 embassies. So if the money is not enough, I want to go to Buhari's estate, also seize it, so that the people that they have harassed, because we got a judgment of non-referment. I've got a judgment. And if the Cameroonian government is listening today, I am coming for you. And I'm going to go to court in the oil berry in London to seek those. I have already placed my caveat. I'm coming for you because I will get, I don't want Buhari's estate properties divided before these people get over $448 million pounds equivalent of what we want for non-referment, the policy of referment of people from Abuja, the Neraten, and other human rights abuses, which the United Nations Court of Arbitrary Court gave a judgment in favor of the 11 entertained people who are in jail today. That one is coming, and watch that space.
Yes. So what about President Paul Biya's candidacy? Probably it's because of your court case that Paul Biya is not actually coming to London because he's not been there for so many years. But let's talk about his candidacy. Did you see that coming? And what's your reaction?
It's very dangerous. At 93, what is he going to say now? What he hasn't done in 93 years? What does he want to say? Has he brought peace? Has he united the people of Southern Cameroon with Northern Cameroon, the French speakers with English speakers? No, there is nothing he's going to do in the next 5 years. Probably he wants God to call him. I'm not God. He wants God to call him while he's on the throne. A man who doesn't know where he is, a man who doesn't know whether he's in a toilet or he's in a kitchen or he's in a bedroom. What type of presidency is this? This is the worst presidency, Mimi, and I speak my mind. Let him hear me.
Yes, so I would just want to follow up on that question and just find out from you. What does President Paul Biya's continued hold on power say about Cameroon's democratic institutions from someone like you looking at it from out of Cameroon? What does it say about the democratic institutions in Cameroon?
I think he has suffocated the democratic institutions. There is no room for dissent. There is no room for argument. Proper argument is gone. The social structure fabric is broken down. Millions of Cameroonians are doing bad jobs in around Europe and the world. They are refugees, indigenous people, Cameroonians suffering in Ghana, Nigeria, in camps, in Chad, in Uganda, in Kenya, so many of them, South Africa. He has done a very bad, he has suffocated everything that you would call, even among them, he has detained people. Even apart from that, he has also allowed an insurgency. So there is nothing left for the people of Cameroon.
So many Cameroonians also believe that President Paul Biya at the moment is actually no longer capable of running the country because of health reasons. They've advanced so many reasons. But according to them, they say that President Paul Biya is not even physically or mentally fit anymore to lead. Is it fair or is it even ethical for someone in such a state to be presented as an option for the 2025 presidential election in Cameroon, looking at the fact that he's been leader in the country for 43 years and that he is actually 92?
Can I tell you the truth, my sister? The word in biology is called senile. It's senile. Once you are senile, you become saltless. When salt loses salt, becomes saltless. The Bible says that. Paul Biya is a Christian. A salt loses salt, becomes saltless. He has no salt to give to the people of Cameroon anymore. He's senile. He doesn't know what he's doing. This guy, if he had a nuclear weapon, he would press the button. He did not know it. So what is he going to tell you, younger generation there? At least people will ask me, my president is still very energetic. Museveni is educated. He has the brains. He can go on because he
But
has some
he's
good
he's
brains.
also described as one of the dictators that we have in
No,
Africa. He's not
but
the only.
Museveni is, there's a difference between Museveni and Paul Biya. Museveni doesn't behave like a Paul Biya.
What's the difference?
Museveni went to school. Paul Biya is a nickel from nowhere. He's zero in
President
brains.
Paul Biya went to school. He was
Went
minister
to school.
before
If
ever
you have
becoming a
got,
president. He's been
Madam,
to school.
when you,
President Yoweri Museveni, Dr. David Matsanga, Professor
yes,
Yoweri Museveni has been accused of violating the rights of journalists, politicians, and stifling dissent also in Uganda. So it seems like it's
the
an
truth.
African issue. It seems like
Can
it's an
I,
African
can
issue
I,
here.
you called me here to say the truth, isn't it? And
Right.
let me say the truth.
But also I'm bringing facts.
Hey, my sister, wait. Uganda's position, Uganda's social problems inside. We only
Because
have.
any Cameroonian, any
Are you
right-thinking
going to
Cameroonian
allow
would
me?
not use Museveni as an example when it
Oh
comes to
yes, but
democracy in Africa. At the time
who
when Cameroonians are talking about change, you cannot be using Museveni as an
I
example when it comes to
I can
leadership in
I will
Africa.
defend. I will defend why. Do you know who is the biggest critic of President Museveni? Dr. Matsanga. Has Besigye ever fought a war in 1978? No. Dr. Matsanga fought a war to remove Idi Amin. Did Besigye fight a war to remove Idi Amin? Did Bob Wine fight a war to remove Idi Amin? No. Even Bob Wine was not born when we removed Idi Amin. Museveni, there are good things that he has done for the country. But there are also a small fraction of this democracy you are looking for. That democracy, the space, Ugandans are socially coherent. I want to tell you the truth, and you listen. I will lecture to you until the cows come home. Ugandans are socially coherent. They might
Okay.
have, we have our food, we eat, we don't lack food. There is no war in my country. Is there a war? Show me one war. In my country, there is no war between the North and the South. I finished that. I was a critical President Museveni. I shook his hand and I said, we have ended the war. The war ended. 20 years passed, no gunshot in northern Uganda. This is the man. I'm
So
here.
it's good that
So
you're talking
I
about
give
it's
him a
good.
credit. He is not like a Paul Biya. Don't compare that Nico Pump with Museveni. Zero. Paul Biya is a stupid man who has actually brutalized the people in southern Cameroon. You tell me to call me here to tell me it's Paul Biya? Is Museveni killing people? No, look, is Museveni killing people Paul Biya is killing people in southern Cameroon?
Dr. David Masanga, given the fact that you are doing a comparison between President Yoweri
I did not
Museveni
do
and
a
President
comparison.
Paul Biya,
Even in a comparison, I am not a supporter of President Museveni.
President Paul Biya,
I am not a
let us
supporter.
ask the followers in the
Mimi,
comments, because today is about Paul Biya and Cameroon. Let's not talk a lot. We will bring
no,
you
let's
back.
go.
We will bring you
Open
back.
up,
Yes, we
open
will
up.
bring you back
Tell
to
me,
talk
I will
about
tell you the good
Museveni.
things Museveni has done
Yes,
against Paul Biya. I will tell
David
you that
Masanga, Dr. David
Museveni has
Masanga.
done better things. He's still things.
I am the
Museveni's
interview.
IQ
I'm
is
the
very good
interviewer here.
compared
I'm the
to that
interviewer
Paul Biya
here.
useless man.
I'm the interviewer here. It's a good thing that you are comparing and you think that Museveni is better than Paul Biya, because we
Yes,
have a lot of people also following us from across
that's
Cameroon and
okay.
Africa.
That's okay. But
And
let
Africa,
them
let
show
us
me where
ask
there is a
them, let
war
us
in
ask
Uganda.
them in the comment section
There
what
is
they think
there is lack
about
of
what you are
democracy
saying.
in
We will
Uganda.
have to
A
move
bit
on
of
to
it.
something else.
It
We have to
takes
move
time
on.
to grow.
Yes, we have to move on to something else,
Yes.
which is, why do you think that Cameroonians have tolerated this level of political stagnation in Cameroon for too long? Do you think it's because of fear, or is it because of apathy, or is it something that's deeper that we are not seeing, that we cannot see?
It's hatred.
Mhm.
You have tolerated this because you have been hatred has been planted amongst you. The people have not seen the vision, the hatred that we solved in Uganda. between me and the President Museveni. When we meet now, we say, hi, Your Excellency, thank you very much. I'm not coming home. I'm based in the UK. Thanks. God bless you. That's it. You don't have that redemption strategy. You haven't had it. The French hate the South, and the South hate the North, because this territory of the South was annexed by the French. So there's that serious grown hatred against everything in France. Even if somebody goes, Biya dies, Paul Biya dies today, and someone comes to power, unless you heal that hatred, Mimi, you won't be anything called a nation called Cameroon. The hatred is give the Southern Cameroonians to go away. They want a state. It is you annexed it. You annexed it forcefully. You put it. There is no agreement. Matsanga have been looking for this agreement of Southern Cameroon. Who gave the Southern Cameroon out? I hope this is going to come out, Mimi. Don't cut it off. It has to come out. I am in the International Court of Justice looking for this agreement. Where you when France, Britain, Cameroon, and Nigeria cannot show me this agreement. Where is the agreement? Who signed that Southern Cameroon should go away towards Northern Cameroon, the French Cameroon? Who? Why are people being killed because of English? Because they speak English. The people there are being killed because they speak English. For you, if you are in Southern Cameroon and you speak that English in Yaoundé, you would be arrested. You have been arrested before.
Dr. David Matsanga, you are right. There's war in Cameroon, in the Anglophone regions of Cameroon. It's been going on for 9 years now. So many people in the English-speaking parts of Cameroon have been killed because of the war, the conflict that started in 2016. Crimes have been committed on both sides, atrocities committed by the military and the separatists. Young women, children killed by those who have weapons in their hands. We have statistics from international organizations like the United Nations. We also have the Committee to Protect Journalists talking about the state of press freedom in Cameroon because of the conflict. We also have the Human Rights Watch. We have Amnesty International and even the Crisis Group. We have international organizations that have not even been able to go to the field and report, and even journalists, it's difficult for them to go in and report because of the dictatorship that we have in Cameroon. But it is not true that Anglophones are being brutalized, or that if an Anglophone find themselves in Yaoundé, they will be brutalized or they will be harmed. That is not a fact. I am also telling you that because I am a Cameroonian.
I am not here to go to the merits and demerits.
Yeah, because I need to also give. I need to tell you what I need to tell you what the facts are, because we are speaking based on facts.
That's why I also told you about the facts in Uganda.
Yes. But when you said I said so be it. So now I'm telling you about the facts in Cameroon now. Anglophones are not being beaten.
But why are the English people being segregated?
In the because of the Anglophone, that was the root cause of the war, because the lawyers want reforms, the teachers want reforms. There's need for reforms in Cameroon.
Why don't you reform them? We in Uganda reformed.
You took President Paul Biya to the ICC. Yes. Where are we now on that case? What has happened? What is the update?
Ask me. The French have protected Paul Biya. You want me to say the truth here? The matter is in the court. You ask anyone. The French are the ones who pay for ICC. Mimi, you have gone to school with 2 master's degrees. I don't want you to reason like a person who is in the streets of your
Dr. David, why did the French do that? Why would the French do that?
That's their colony.
For what reason? For what objective?
You know very well that's their colony. If you touch Karim Khan lost his job because of the French. He's losing his job because the French don't want Karim Khan to talk, to indict. I have documents, I have proof, I have records. I've gone to interview the chief prosecutor in our meetings, and he told me he can't touch Cameroon because of the French. And that Macron, that smaller one who was married by a woman, who is causing you to fear everything. A man married by a woman is ruling Africans, and they go there lining. Matsanga will never lie before that stupid man across there who
Yes,
was
Dr.
married
David,
by a
Dr.
sister.
David Matsanga,
This
you know you're
man,
coming.
no.
Dr. David Matsanga, you know that you're coming here as a political analyst, and we need to really be, yes,
Can the
we
political
need to
analyst
select, we
say the
need to
truth?
select our words and
No, I am selecting. The man was
yes,
married by a woman.
because you don't also want the video to be brought down. You said you don't want the video to be brought down by YouTube, so we have to be careful how we say the
Okay.
things.
Then for your
Yes.
sake, thank you very much. I will not
Yeah,
go
not
that
for my
route.
sake. I mean, just for also for the respect of our
Yes,
viewers,
but
because they just need to understand what the problems are, not insult and going overboard. So I just wanted to
okay.
ask you, Dr. David Matsanga, would you
Yes.
say that the Cameroonian people have been complicit, allowing a dictator in power, um, uh, or do you think that they have been silenced and powerless? What do you think? What are your thoughts?
I think both have worked. I now want to speak as an academic, a scholar who has taught, and I continue teaching you to go higher. I want you to learn more. I'm sorry to have gone on that side because I hate anything to do with Cameroon and Paul Biya. That's why my
Yeah, but
anger went that
you
way.
have a Cameroon case on your table, so you have to be moderate. You have to be very, very. You have to bring the emotions down so that people can
Yes,
get what
okay,
you're saying.
okay. Let
Yes.
me tell you, complicity has come on both sides. Amongst you, you have turned on each other, you eat each other, you are not united towards
Mhm.
the push for reforms, the push, especially in the southern Cameroons. There are so many factions that have grown up with in southern Cameroon, one of Sako, another one of this, another one of Ayaba, another one of that. They accuse each other. That's complicity. That creates a problem. Then we come to the people, to the
Mm.
state called Cameroon, the central
Mm.
government.
Yes.
Cameroon is a country, and I want to make this political statement. Cameroon is a country without a country, a state without a state. You studied political science and you will know what it means. Anybody can challenge me here. A country without a country, a state without a state. Everything has collapsed. It depends on one single man called
Mm.
Paul Biya and a wife. So if they are dead one day, we are preparing for a big war that is going to come because of the mixture of the complicity of the matrix that surrounds the leadership. And once it is gone, there will be a battle of all battles. Even the French troops might be sucked in like Rwanda. I am warning you, you will see. Even if I'm going to the grave, to the maker, remember my words. Cameroon will never be the same after this draconian Paul Biya has sat on you for 43 years, created a very dangerous precedent where there is no cohesion, national cohesion, where there is nothing, even in the state of the French, there is even repression. An icon of repression is Paul Biya, like Buhari. They are icons of repression, my sister. So complicity is on both sides. Let's move on because you said you had 30 questions for me.
Yeah, I have so many questions to ask you. So I wanted to find out from you, is President Pobia's extended presidency a reflection of a wider problem that we have been seeing in Africa? Because I've seen you mentioned President Buhari, who is now of a blessed memory. May his soul rest in peace. Do you think that is a reflection of a broader problem that Africa is facing at the moment, where leaders are refusing to relinquish power?
I think we have a problem as Africans. There is something wrong with African type of democracy. Time has come, Mimi, for us to go back to the drawing table and think of what can we do to change the format of democracy in our country, in our continent. First, the only country in Africa that has good democracy where you say you vote and go home peacefully without a stone being thrown is South Africa. The second one is Liberia. The third one is this country called Senegal, then Ghana. Those are the few states in Africa that have peaceful transfer of power without a gunshot, without killing each other, without stones, without destroying property. But the rest of the world, the rest of African continent, my sister, is in turmoil. The rest of
Yes.
the African world is in turmoil, in big turmoil, including my own country, Uganda. After elections, it is like a second world war. There is a battlefield. I am not, you see, for me, I am always critical. If President Museveni has done something very good, I give him a credit. President Museveni has done so many good things inside, including security inside. He has kept the country together. He has removed that social fabric of discrimination. A Ugandan from the north can walk in Uganda and walk, understand, and walk free, eat food without being discriminated. That is something that I like to give strength. Security. In Uganda, you can't operate like that, move, kill people, and walk. Museveni's troops will come for you, they will get you down. The only problem we have in our country, and which is general to African countries, is that type of democracy of winner takes it all.
Yes.
That is where we have a problem. And Dr. Matsanga is on record. I studied political science to the last iota on planet Earth. Madam, is there another degree beyond the degree I have? I hold 3 master's degrees in the world, not in small universities. In United Kingdom.
You tell us, Dr. Matsanga.
Yes, yeah, you studied. So what
We are
we
here
see,
to listen.
the biggest problem is 50 plus 1. What is the problem of our democracy? Is you elect people, then you go to 70 judges to decide who has won. Have you seen the problem where Africans have made a mistake?
Yes, so let us talk about President Paul Biya. If he eventually wins, we don't know what will happen between now and October
No,
12th.
he's going to win. Don't say
When the electoral
my
uh,
sister.
when the electoral
It
college has been convened, if he wins, he's always won the election, but we don't know what will happen this year.
is
So
going to win.
you saw
He's
what happened.
winning.
You saw what happened with Robert Mugabe in Zimbabwe when he declared that he was going to run again for the election. Between that time he declared and when the election took place, it was it was so fast, so quick. We never know what would happen because now he is 92, and that time Robert Mugabe was 92. I will leave the rest for people to just for people's imaginations. So, but if President Paul Biya wins in 2025, what do you think the future holds for Cameroon? What do
Why
you
are you?
foresee in Cameroon? But Dr. David, before you answer that question, I want you to talk from the perspective of Cameroon in general because it is a country. There are so many people. Like it's 10 regions over. Like it's 10 regions. We have 10 regions in Cameroon. The francophone parts and the anglophone parts. The anglophone parts, the minority. The francophone parts, the majority. Let us look at the global picture in Cameroon now. If it wins, which will likely be the case, what do you think the future holds for Cameroon?
Brick, if he win, don't say if he's going to win, because he's rigging it. He has rigged. He has locked everybody. I want the world to know everybody. He's locking people. He has locked even people from who speak French. They are in jail. This guy has got a syndrome of locking people for life. For life. There are 10 professors and lawyers there for life. Even in the French jails in Yaoundé, there are so many, over 4,000 people jailed because of just speaking, irrespective of where they come from. This is what we should do and tell the world as we come, especially your channel, which is now very prominent, my daughter. Let's tell the world that there is seriousness, sickness in that country. People have been picked up, beaten up, locked up for life. People are in jail, not for anything else, not for plotting even a military coup, just to ask for one word: can we have freedom to speak? Can we choose the way we want to associate, to assemble, to organize, even to eat? In fact, it has reached very serious proportions in some countries, especially Cameroon. You must ask which food you are going to eat this afternoon. Because if someone sees you buying something which is not what the president wants, you could be picked up. So this is type of democracy has created Africa to be called a backward continent. We are losing our younger people coming to work in places as slaves. They have to do all the type of work.
Yes,
Even in the
Dr.
mortuary.
David
If the
Matsanga.
mortuaries, oh,
Um,
yes.
um, 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 I want us to move forward because, like I told you, I have a lot of questions for you today. You've talked about the case that you've taken against Biya to the International Criminal Court, and you say that it's been delayed by France. But I wanted to also find out from you that do you believe the international justice system failed the people of Cameroon, or was it just was the case politically undermined?
Both. International justice has failed Cameroon, the people of Cameroon, of Southern Cameroon, and the Cameroon in general. It has failed them. The mercantile capitalism, which is food, minerals, land, and other resources, have blindfolded the international community. France is siphoning oil from Cameroon, gas from Cameroon. They can't. France is a member of the United Nations Security Council. It knows that there are human rights abuses in Cameroon. It has never brought a motion. But France was quick to bring a motion against Gaddafi. They killed Gaddafi. They took the money. They stole. Sarkozy stole the money. I'm in court in the European Union next week for a ruling to stop Mr. Gaddafi, Mr. Sarkozy from walking free. I want Sarkozy to be in jail to carry that pill at night. 1 year. But he says he's not going to go to jail because he's too old, yet he has got 10 concubines that he uses every night. So why is it he walking free? So international community has failed Cameroon. My sister, they have done so. There is no justice there. Karim Khan told me in confidence that Matsanga, these papers are here, but when I try, the French threatened to withdraw help from ICC. Now,
so now on the Anglophone crisis, because you've done a lot on that, you've been so vocal on the conflict in the Anglophone regions of Cameroon. And it's been going on for nine years now and counting. In your view, what has been President Paul Biya's biggest failure in managing this conflict?
he should have called for peace process. Release the 10. Mr. Paul Biya released all prisoners, called for a peace national dialogue. Let people
But there was a national dialogue.
Bring a redemption strategy, healing. You think Mandela would have held South Africa after coming out of jail? Mandela created the peace, TJRC, Truth Reconciliation Commission, to say, yes, we have committed so many crimes against the Southern Cameroonians. Please forgive us. Here is your state, a referendum, go. Because there's no agreement. It's captured. You are not going to silence these people, even the younger ones. Even Israelis are killing Hamas, but they are not going to be stopped. The younger people growing, seeing you shooting them, you will not stop them from also becoming the same. So create a national cohesion, national truth-telling commission that will help Cameroon, that will bring in the people of all shades, from one opinion to the other one. Put them together. Put them on table. Surrender Southern Cameroon. For me, surrender it. Let's go. Resolution 1608 was very clear. I am looking for the agreement.
Okay, so Mr. Matsanga, as a
Do
follow-up
you have the
question.
agreement? Give me this agreement.
Okay, Dr. David Matsanga, as a Pan-Africanist, does it make sense that you are focusing on colonial boundaries to ask for division in Cameroon? Or should you not be advocating that the country goes back to pre-colonial boundaries or unite more towards a more integrated Africa that we see some leaders have been fighting for at the moment? As a Pan-Africanist, should you be calling for division instead of
That's a good question. How
the
can I?
absence of boundaries that existed even before the colonial period? Shouldn't that be your debate?
Can I jump in? That is actually why I asked to join too, because I think that.
No, let me answer. You are just
Yes, let
joining
Mr. Dr. Matsanga answer
villager.
first.
You know, I am not a villager to join. You wait until I finish.
Okay, go on,
yes,
sir.
I am a Pan-African, but you cannot unite people when one finger is sick. One finger is sick. You cannot cut off the whole head when you have a jigger in your foot. You go and remove the jigger. What Dr. Matsanga is saying, let's remove the jigger. Mimi, you grew up in a village where a jigger must have pricked you. Do you cut off your foot? Kingsley, do you cut off your foot? You go and remove that jigger. Dr. Matsanga is removing that jigger. The jiggers from Africa, which bring problems. One of the jiggers that brings problem. Mimi, wait. I will allow you to speak. I can speak for 10 hours.
I know.
I have
know.
no problem. That Kingsley, you don't cut off the whole Africa. Stop. Because you can't unite the whole Africa when there is one bleeding. At the moment, there are countries that are bleeding. One of the regions bleeding is Biafra, South and South Nigeria. Nigeria is gone. It's horror. But what can I tell you? Can you unite Africa when Nigeria, a population of 250, people are kidnapping each other, people are killing each other, raping each other every day? Can you unite Cameroon when there is insurgents created by the government that has failed to stop insurgents? That how will you unite Africa? I want a united, integrated Africa, but we must clean this, remove the jigger, the small white. You see those white eggs that create more jiggers to kill the whole Africa. Two, you cannot unite Africa when France sees the unity of Africa, it will come for you. They will kill you. Look at what they are doing to Trolley of Burkina Faso. They are threatening him. Trump is even calling 5 presidents surrounding Trolley. He wants to invade Trolley. He wants to invade Trolley. It won't be long. Mimi, you will call me here. I'm here still alive. God has kept me. You will call me. They want to invade that younger man because he has talked about their golden boy, France, who goes ahead. You know, during colonial days, Kingsley, France kept maps and the diamonds. Britain just brought a Bible and a religion. So France kept it. Where diamonds are, where dog gold, where oil, where gas. It is France that kept all this. So I want you to ask me, Kingsley, what do you think
Kingsley,
I
you
am
wanted
doing
to
wrong?
react. You wanted to react.
I
Dr. David
just wanted to
Matsanga
say,
believes. Dr. David Matsanga believes that you cannot unite in chaos.
yes,
When there's chaos,
yes, I wanted to just come
I'm
in.
not talking about
A Pan-Africanist myself, someone who comes from the school of Nkrumah, Marcus Garvey, who believes in that fundamental vision that Nkrumah had when he wrote Towards Colonial Freedom in 1952, and Africa Must Unite in 1962. He fought, wrote, advocated for an integrated Africa economically, militarily, and otherwise. And one of the things that Nkrumah said in 1957 was the independence of the Gold Coast will be incomplete until it is linked to the independence of the whole continent. Nkrumah was killed for that ideology. Dr. David Matsanga has quoted Gaddafi. Gaddafi came and resurrected that ideology of uniting Africa. unity, uniting, because when we are divided, we collapse. So I find it very, very difficult to understand where Dr. David Matsanga comes from when he is a Pan-Africanist. I am an Anglophone Cameroonian. I come from that extraction. I started the first protest in London when the teachers and the lawyers started in 2016. But I do not identify as Ambazonia, because you know what? If I identify as that colonial identity, I am just supporting the whole notion of colonialism that came and split the people of the Tikars from one to the other. I don't identify with those identities. Even the word Southern Cameroons, even all this. I say Anglophone only because I am English speaking, not because that is what the British gave me. Now, I find it difficult as someone from Kejom Ketsingu. That is my identity. It is entrenched in the heart of that place that is contested. But I struggle to see when I want to go back and my identity is traced back to 1922 when the League of Nations accepted to separate Cameroon into two, the territory that the Germans had colonized, split it into two, give one part to the British to colonize. And in 1945, when the United Nations came and said that you are a protectorate, these are all colonial identities, and we cannot, as Pan-Africanists, begin to continue to entrench them. And then to the extent that we now fight to kill each other to protect that identity, and we use the same colonial guns to kill ourselves. That is where I draw a line with my fellow brothers who are fighting for the freedom of Cameroon. I tell them, I will not fight to enthrone something. The British themselves, where I am in the UK like you, Dr. David Matsanga, there is no such thing as an Anglo-Saxon culture that the people of Southern Cameroons or Amazonia claim they want to enthrone. It doesn't exist.
Okay.
So, Dr. David Matsanga, you want to jump in on that?
I just want to thank my brother that everybody has a choice. And your choice is you don't want to be associated with those who think there is a missing agreement as to why one territory was just taken over. That one, even if you unite it today, tomorrow, tonight, it will haunt you. Because it is not Matsanga. You are younger than me. I'm 60-something, going home to the Maker very soon. Even if you say you like what is going on, you want to bring back one Cameroon, is impossible. We must first find the root cause. Why is there a fight up to today? Why is it there that Britain and France have avoided to talk about this thing? Why is it that in Nkrumah that you talk about was overthrown in 1965 because he tried to talk about Southern Cameroon, sir? He tried to tell people that, look, you people, you killed Patrice Lumumba in 1961. Congo is gone. Now give these guys of Southern Cameroon independence. Surely you people, United Nations. You remember the first Secretary General of UN was killed because he had documents of Southern Cameroon. Yes, you know that. I am not saying but brother, you and I, we all believe in Kwame Nkrumah vision. I believe in Gaddafi. Gaddafi was slaughtered. Show me one African leader who is crying Gaddafi today. Nobody. Yeah. It's only Matsanga filing an application in the European Court, struggling with a Michael Sarkozy who has billions.
So I see that you both are trying a little bit to derail our conversation, which has to do with the future of Cameroon.
Okay, let's come to the future of Cameroon.
Let us look at the future. But before we look at the future of Cameroon, let us look at Biya's efforts.
Madam, I'm not a Cameroonian. I am not a Southern Cameroonian.
Can I just add something about the context?
I am an international lawyer. Yes. And I look at law as the basis of equity.
Can I just
That's
make
all.
a point? Another point.
Yeah, before you make the point, Mr.
Mr.
Kingsley Shete, why do you think that there's been no meaningful peace process like Dr. David Matsanga was saying? Because according to him, if there was a meaningful, peaceful process in place, the conflict would not be where it is at the moment. Do you think that Biya has been serious about resolving the Anglophone crisis?
Why
Or
would
do you
Biya
think
resolve the Anglophone crisis when it's to his advantage that there's a crisis? That's the thing. That's where we also fail to understand. The Anglophone crisis or the war or whatever conflict people choose to call it today benefits one person, Paul Biya. It makes sure that the country is divided. People are fighting themselves. And for the first time in Cameroon's history, Paul Biya was able to win. His party was able to win in the Anglophone regions, in the Northwest and Southwest regions in 2018 and 2020 for the first time since multi-party politics. So who is it? I say that even the boys fighting at the arm twin of the CPDM, they benefit only one person, Paul Biya. Paul Biya can stay for as long as he wants in power just because there is that conflict. But I want to trace back to 1961, and this is something that we always
please very briefly, because I don't want us to go out of our, we can have this discussion. This discussion is very interesting, it's important, but I don't want to take us out of the
out of it.
Yes, that out of the context, because we are looking at the future of Cameroon.
If we don't know where we are coming from, we might not know where we are going. The thing is that in 1961, before even from 1959, before the talks of the British Southern Cameroons joining French Cameroon, what everyone seems to ignore was that there was a civil war in French Cameroon, a war of independence. The Maquisards, the Bassap and the Bamilikes were fighting to liberate Cameroon, French Cameroon, from the French. There was a war going on because they believed that Cameroon was not truly independent. Now, fast forward 1 year later, Southern Cameroons, Poncha and Muna go and take a territory and accept to even consider joining it to a territory that is not yet independent, because there was Robert Umnyobe and X1Z, they were fighting for independence. So the fight for independence did not start with Southern Cameroon. It started with the French Cameroonians, the Maquisards. So there is a fight for independence, and you go to join a territory that is not independent. How can you become independent? That is the point. So Southern Cameroons chose to join, voted to join a territory that was not independent. And that is why we have never been independent, because you joined a non-independent territory. That territory was still controlled by France and is still controlled by France today. So instead of fighting, say you want to split, you should fight to say we want to actually continue the fight that NH1Z, Robert Umnyobe, Felix Mumi, they fought for. That independence from France. If that does not happen,
okay, Dr. David Matsanga, we have an appointment for another day to discuss Cameroon and the border.
I think the man
division of borders in Africa, Pan-Africanism.
It is not me. It is
no, I'm saying
gentleman.
that you'll be looking at it from the perspective of Africa, and Mr. Shete Kingsley
yes,
will come also as another Pan-Africanist, and we see how to go about it. But let us come back to President Paul Biya, because the future of Cameroon is what I am interested in, and many people also watching they are interested in this discussion. But let us focus on the reason why we came here today. The opposition in Cameroon is highly some sort of fragmented. There have been so many calls for them to come together to form a coalition that can unseat the current system in place. But it's not really happening. Dr. Matsanga, do you think that why do you think that the opposition continues to fail at forming a united front, despite knowing that it would be beneficial for them to come together and fight to unseat the current system?
Thank you very much, Mimi, for that question, because that is the question hurting every African. In my country, Uganda, for example, opposition is fragmented. Everybody wants power. Bob Wine wants power. Besigye wants power. Obote's son wants power. We have a problem, just like Cameroon. Cameroon, a fragmented opposition cannot defeat the incumbent presidents. And therefore, this thing of Cameroon, opposition, the more they fragment themselves, the more problems they have. It can't defeat the incumbency. The incumbent president will win because you are fragmented. Nobody wants to say, concede and stay aside and say, okay, let's put there a united candidate. We have no, it is happening everywhere. My country is worse. Someone makes a briefcase party and walks with it in the streets of Kampala that I am also contesting for presidency. President Museveni will win. 2026 is winning, you will see. Even if he sits at home, all political parties in my country are dead. They don't even have money to move. They don't even have shoes to wear. How are you going to win an election when you have no shoes? Even no shoes or even transport, a bicycle to go to get the vote. Political parties are fragmented. Everybody wants power. If you see what is happening in Uganda and Cameroon, it's the same. This Paul Biya has fragmented everything in the opposition. Opposition also, people are angry. They want money. They want food. Everybody wants that seat. Nobody wants to give away. I want to give credit to one man in Africa.
But do you think that the opposition can do better, given that former members of the government are now in the opposition? We've seen former ministers resigning. Do you think things could change this year?
Even these former ministers resigning, Mama Mimi, they are resigning to go and eat. Are you hearing me? They are resigning to go and eat because they have seen their leader is dying. They are resigning to go and eat. They will also start fighting amongst themselves. You get my point?
Yes.
You are going to see. So the only person on continent Africa who has managed to to organize the opposition together is one man called Raila Amolo Odinga of Kenya. Give him credit. When it comes to elections, Raila puts the people together. And that's why you see Kenya's opposition has been formidable. Despite all these cases of rigging of elections, this still opposition in Kenya, 10 candidates come together. In Africa, elsewhere, I've seen in Zimbabwe. Look at Zimbabwe, for example. Because when you are doing Cameroon, you must do comparatively, as you say. Look at the comparative politics of Cameroon. It's the same. Is the party, each of these ministers resigning is forming his own political party. You will see.
Yes.
They are not going to be united. They wanted the cake of Paul Biya. They want to eat it. They want to eat it.
Yes,
And
yes,
therefore,
Mr. Kingsley Shete, do you want to come in to tell us whether you feel that between now to the time when the election takes place in Cameroon, is there a possibility for any credible coalition to be formed before the election? At least something different for this year. You're muted. We can't hear you. You're muted. You're muted.
Yes, sorry, my mic was off. So I want to agree with Dr. Matsanga on one thing, and it is that there are dictators and there are dictators. And I think that someone did say it in the comments there, and I was just agreeing that, well, the difference sometimes with Museveni and Biya is that while they are both brutal, Museveni at least even talks to the people. He even communicates. He's still, at least we know he's still alive, at least. That one we can agree. But Paul Biya is totally absent, and that is and has been that way for a very long time. And something that most people don't realize is that Paul Biya's project was from the start. And this is the thing, Dr. Matsanga, that I feel that we seem not to have grasped as Cameroonians, is that Biya's mission essentially was to actually end Anglophones. And that is why sometimes I look at when someone like Akeri Muna comes out and people say, oh, your father was a sellout. most of them don't realize is that actually their father, Akere Muna's father, Solomon Kande Muna, was the most betrayed man in Cameroon. He should have been Cameroon's president constitutionally, and he's the last vice president of Cameroon because they took away the vice presidentship and made Paul Biya to become. But back to Mimi's question, whether there is a credible, Biya is no more. I wrote an article sometime in 2011 when I said Biya is dead to Cameroonians. So when they keep trying to think that death is only when you physically gone, Biya is dead. Biya is a potato. He does nothing other than read speeches. So it's worse now.
Read speeches. When is the last time he read a speech? Because he's governing the country with decrees and pictures.
I mean, the last time when we see him physically is that he comes and reads our speeches during 2011.
He can't fly now. He can't fly. I'm waiting for him. Tell him to fly.
One of the things that I feel like I'm an optimist now, I'm more optimistic now, is that the CPDM
you don't know what I've been doing.
Has no game plan.
Let him fly to come to Britain.
They have no game plan.
I am telling you, I'm going for Buhari's body. I've sent my experts in London to do the DNA because we want to find out everything so that we go to court for Buhari must pay for the crimes that he has committed against the people of the whole of Nigeria and the preferment of 10 professors of Southern Cameroon for life imprisonment. We have a judgment. Matsanga has a judgment. I wish, Mimi, you told me I would have brought that judgment for you. I am going to get it. His estate should not be touched. I know the British law very well and the Commonwealth law. What will you do? He is not going to divide even one house. If the children are looking for taking over that house, let them forget more. They will not get it until they sort all the people they have brutalized. I agree with you.
Yes, so I just wanted to ask about Dr. David Matsanga. You've built a reputation as a fearless critic of tyranny in Africa. You've criticized bad governance, dictators. Yet some people believe or have been saying that you've become more lenient with certain regimes over time. Just a while ago, you were also talking about Museveni, but you say you are his critic, but you also praise some of the things that he does. Have you softened your position, or are you just being more strategic now?
No. Me and the Dr. His Excellency General Museveni, we fought a liberation war to liberate Uganda from Idi Amin. Idi Amin was killing people. Museveni, Matsanga, Kagame, all this, Salim Saleh, all of us have been fighters in different factions. I was Chikosi Maroon. Museveni was Franasa. I'm not a civilian, you see here. I'm not. And when I come to this scene, I have not changed any strategy. We had a war in Uganda. In 2008, I led a delegation to finish the war. I am the one who negotiated. I think, Mimi, you know. I was the chief negotiator, the chairman of the peace delegation. Not war delegation, peace. I brought war. President Museveni came, signed an agreement. I signed. Museveni signed. The UN signed. Britain signed. Who else? America signed, guaranteed. I am happy. My country is peaceful today. I've done my job. Therefore, why should I fight? Where President Museveni has given a credit, I give him credit, Wana. Mimi, I give a credit. This in Uganda, you don't play with us.
Yeah, Mr. Kingsley Shetta, do you think that if we had someone like Dr. Matsanga in Cameroon, would he have succeeded to bring about peace, to unite the people? Would he have been given the voice in the first place? Many people have tried to mediate, but it didn't work. What's the problem with Cameroon?
We have a lot of people like Dr. David Matsanga, but the problem again is that people start the fight, and then if you have something you want to do and you don't ground it, and then you allow yourself to get derailed. I will give a simple example. Someone that we all admired, and somehow he got carried away, and then he's just fizzled out. I mean, it's almost like he was like a candle. people might not agree with me, but that's my opinion. And it's Honorable Joseph Weber. He came out and ignited in I think every Cameroonian a new fire because he spoke. He was eloquent. He talked, and people rallied behind him. But it seems like he himself had a very short vision of what he wanted to do. Dr. Matsanga is here, and we can respect him for being on that journey for decades. That means that you're grounded in principle, in theory, and you're not being swayed by the wind. And that is where Honorable Weber failed, because he was just there for a moment. And this is the moment that we even expect to hear. You don't hear from him. So he's just fizzled out. So it's just acted like a candle. Another person I would say it's controversial again, and people will probably struggle to get it, is Kamto. Maurice Kamto came up in 2018 and motivated a whole generation of Cameroonians. I was one of those who thought that he had something, like he has depth to what he wants to bring. And it's coming back to the former question you asked. But then by 2019, Maurice Kamto said he had a 4-point plan towards ousting Biya. And that plan ended in number 2. 2020, he made the mistake that John Fundi made in 1992 and boycotted elections, and then gave power back to the CPDM. And then now he is struggling for candidacy within the same system, using the same laws that he, as a professor of law, saw. Lack of vision again, lack of consistency, a candlelight type of situation, that fire that burns once very brightly, but then just goes away. So I think that is the problem we have with Cameroon, is that you have bright people who do not think long-term, who do not also size up their adversary very well, understand what is Biya, what makes Biya tick. And this is the key question in this election. What is the whole reason? Why does Biya even win an election in Cameroon when we know that not up to 100,000 people actually vote for Biya? I'm not sure that his daughter would vote for him. So, but why does he win? So if you can size that up, if the opposition sits down and size that up, understand that, then they have a chance. But if they just think that they can beat Biya by simply just talking and following the same strategies and not engaging with the core issues, they're just wasting their time.
So, Dr. David Matsanga, how do you think President Paul Biya will campaign, considering his health? Can he withstand public occasions for hours? Do you think so?
If the man cannot know whether he's in New York or Amsterdam, surely, Mimi, you asking me a question that it makes me bleed. My heart bleeds. This guy doesn't know whether he's in New York or he's in Amsterdam. He can't campaign. My Kingsley touched something. Let me tell you the problem. There are good people in that Cameroon, in your place. Ambassador, there's a man called Ambassador in the US ambassador who has been brutalized by Paul Biya. Paul Biya took his house, took everything. Such decent people. That ambassador, you know him. They wanted to kill him. There is Bishop Taku, you know him, Ayub. Is it Ayub? There are people there who are good. There are people who feel for your nation. They feel for that nation. Ambassador, that guy, even he is partially not seeing, but he's still struggling for a better country. He's still struggling, saying, go ahead. This guy encouraged me to go ahead and do quite a lot of things in the looking for this agreement. Those are the good people we have. But there are also sharks, very dangerous sharks. People like a man called Dr. Sako. These are shady. These are money magnates, Jew looking for money around. These are sharks. They can't even pay for a date. Look, let me tell you.
But in the next program, I'm going to invite you with Dr. Sako if he agrees.
Oh, let him come.
On board with him.
First of all, invite people who can reason, not people who can brag. I don't brag. Matsanga is a street man who earned his degree through, all these papers through working hard in the United Kingdom. I did not
Okay,
brag.
so we are finalizing this
Yes,
discussion.
and I
Because
talk the truth. Next
yes,
time when you call me
we've
Mimi, don't stop me from telling the truth. There are certain people in Cameroon who have caused me headache.
no, I didn't stop you from telling the truth.
And let me tell you,
I
another
I
country has
simply
targeted.
said let us be
Let
mindful
me
how
tell you
we
this
go
first.
about
Another
it.
country I am targeting is Norway. And I want to warn through this television station of yours, Norway, to stop calling me. Stop calling my number. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs, stop calling me. I told you, I don't deal with anything backward. If you want a peace program, put it forward. Release those 10 naira. I've taken you to the point. You know, if you want to fight these white guys, don't fight them with a gun. Fight them with this. Mimi, are you listening to me? I brought
I'm listening as a journalist.
Here, I brought them, no, as a lawyer, I brought this Norwegian country, the Red Cross. Stop calling me. Tell Paul Biya to release those 10 naira guys to come on the table. I can help you to mediate your problems. No, you cannot mediate when one leg is bleeding. No,
Okay.
release them.
Okay. So
Then
what
talk to me.
advice, as you are winding up, what advice would you give to young leaders in Cameroon who feel that they're tired of the system, they're tired of or the opposition not coming together to form a coalition, they're tired of the system that has been there for 43 years, the same leadership and so on? What advice would you give before we go?
Thank you very much. First of all, I want to take this opportunity to pay tribute to the late Chief Justice of Cameroon. You remember that left Chief Justice whom Paul Biya refused to give medical treatment, removed all the things. The man died. He wasn't able to go out to get medical treatment. That I'm still on a number of things that I'm doing to make sure that he gets justice. How this man died like a rat, a small rat mouse, yet he was a former Chief Justice of your place. Two, it is very painful when you look at the story how his man's pension was even stopped, no money was paid to him, he died, his house was vandalized. Surely there are so many things, Mimi. Don't try to go there, stay where you are. This place is not good.
Yeah, Justice Paul Biya, yes.
Yes, don't, that guy, I'm still fighting for his, you know the truth, I swear, the truth catches up like it has caught up with Mr. Buhari. You know, it catches up. So don't worry. I want to tell the younger generation, there is one thing principle in political science, and that principle is honesty. Principle number one, honesty. If you are honest, for example, you think I don't like money? I like money. But I can't take money which is corrupted. I can't take money and avoid talking about Southern Cameroon. I can't take money and avoid talking about Biafra and how Tinubu is killing people. No, I'm the only politician in Uganda, in my country, Mimi, who has never accepted to be bought. The rest of my friends have been bought. See, for 40 years, I am the only one who is surviving. Look at me. You can't buy me. My children have grown. That was my suffering. My children have grown. I've lost a wife. I've lost a father. I've lost 3 brothers. But I have never been able to be bought. I am honest. When I stick on something, Mimi, I stuck on ICC. You saw how I damaged it. It's no more. It's gone. They wanted to take Uhuru Kenyatta. They wanted to get William Ruto to jail and jail them for life. They wanted to take Babugo. They wanted to take Pierre Bemba. They wanted to take Gaddafi's son. I refused. They wanted to take Bashir. I stood firm single-handedly in Africa. I'm here. If I wanted money, I can get it. So honesty is what I want to tell the younger generation. Also, constructive engagement. Don't shout for the sake of shouting and destroy a country. Sit down and discuss. Discuss. That's why most of the countries. 3, let the generation coming remove this thing of the democracy of a vote. It cannot work in Africa, Mimi. We are still too far from the vote, one man, one vote. It is all hell where it begins, especially when you have presidential selection, American style, where you say presidential system. You live in the United Kingdom, you Kingsley. Have you ever seen any prime minister of United Kingdom going to court after losing elections?
No.
Why is it that in Africa, every time now, when you hear about an election in Africa, you call God, God, don't take me to hell. You know, because it is going to be war like this
Yes,
one.
Mr. Kingsley Shetta, what do you think the future holds for Cameroon now with many people frustrated after President Paul Biya declared his candidacy? Just before we go.
Yeah, well, I like I said, I'm very optimistic than most, and I believe that the reason is because the CPDM has no game plan. One, even if Biya runs for this election, he will be running on illegality because he has tried to present himself as this man over the years who follows the constitution. He always tinkers with it, patch it up at each point in time so that he can still say, I am within the constitution. In 2008, before he stood, he changed the constitution so that it will be legal. He doesn't just go and act, but he's been caught out by his own machinations because someone from his own party, Leon Tiele, is actually, and I admire that young man a lot, because he's actually proven to us that Biya's tenure is now over, it's illegitimate. So for the first time, they don't actually have a mandate. And I am hoping that the other politicians, opposition, and all of them can actually realize that this is the moment to actually say, you look, it's not to accept any rubbish that is given to you, dished out to you. Biya is not legitimate to stand by the texts of his own party. Illegality and illegality can never make.
But his ministers would say otherwise, particularly the minister of
the ministers don't make the law. The ministers don't make the law. The ministers don't make the law. And let me quote the same minister, Atanganji Paul, that one who doesn't know his left from his right, has been busy trying to mediate between different parties. He was the one trying to mediate between the PCRN, deciding who should be the leader of the PCRN, whether it's Cabral Libi or Robert Kona. So he has shown us that within the inside political parties, there are rules that should be followed. The courts decided that it's Cabral Libi. So Leon Tiele has brought a case against Paul Biya's candidacy. He is from Biya's party. If the CPDM wants to actually be taken serious, even as they go into this election, let them hold a Congress and let the members of that party vote for their candidate. But beyond that, I want to say that this is the first time in Biya's history that someone from the CPDM has challenged him. So the notion of a natural...
but Cameroonians don't even want this. Some Cameroonians don't even want the CPDM anymore.
I know. I'm saying that it's a dead party. It's a party built... I often agree that the CPDM is a party built around Biya. Without Biya, the CPDM is gone. These guys maintain Biya. I mean, they keep him there just so that they can continue to loot and pillage without having any clue. I mean, without the CPDM, would someone like Atanganji ever be minister? No. What qualifications has he got to be minister of territorial administration? Nothing. Now, without him, you have so many of those ministers who will be on retirement 10 times over. So they know that they will lose out if Biya is not there. So they maintain the image of Biya just to continue to pillage Cameroon. And until Cameroonians realize that this election and say, one thing, Sagat, it's either Biya does not stand or we all go out on the streets. It's as simple as that. You cannot accept, like Dr. Matsanga said, if he is candidate, he will win. So why should he be candidate in the first place? We don't want him to win before we fight to say, no, you can't. We should start now to say, no, you can't even be candidate. It's an insult to Cameroonians that at 92, you want to rule us. You cannot fly a plane. You cannot drive a car at 92. How can you rule a country?
Mimi, my last word.
Yes, just briefly before we go.
My
That
last
was
word.
hilarious.
Kingsley,
Yes.
I like discussing so many things with you, and I think bring him more and more. He has a few things that I will teach him what Pan-Africanism is, and we go the right direction. But one of my last words is this: how can a party create a pseudo president opposing the same party? That is what that young man who is standing again is Paul Biya is fronted to tell the international community that there was somebody so stood with him. And Mimi, my last word is don't go back there. It's not very good. Paul Biya is going to be ruthless, and anytime things might not be the same as they are.
Yes,
Cameroonians,
Cameroon is not safe even for journalists. Have
yes,
colleagues
it
who
is
have been
not.
killed, like Samuel Wazizi has been killed.
Yeah,
We've never
there's
found his
struggle,
body.
but
So we have
I,
Martinez Zogo, and we are still investigating. So it's not a safe country for journalists. So
yes,
you are
I
right
just want to ask
to
you
say
to.
that.
I want to use this forum to ask Paul Biya to fly around the United Kingdom and someplace. Let him come to Charing Cross for some
I
moments.
think he's busy with the election. I think he's going to be busy with the election.
Thank you
So
very
thank you
much.
so much, Dr. David Matsanga and Kingsley
Thank
Shete.
you.
Thank you both for
Thank you.
joining
God
us.
Thank you.
bless
It
you,
would be
all
a
of you.
pleasure to have you again. It was
Yes.
insightful and very
Bring this
interesting.
man. I want to teach him to come to my side.
Yes,
Yes.
you
Yes.
I'll
need
meet
you
you in
need
London soon.
Yes.
you need to talk. You need to talk inbox. Thank you so
Yes, we
much for
Uh,
your
shall talk
time.
in box.
Goodbye.
I will be in London. I will be in London, and anytime I'm in London, come and we